The recording here, actually.
Okay.
All right. So recording is started.
Good job. Okay. Go down.
All right. So, unfortunately, your hog got booped off there. Make sure that you're kind of being more passive when you don't have your personal bubbles. So your personal bubble will have an impact on your aggression. When you have it available, you can get away with more because you have it to get out, right? And you have it to soak up damage. But when you don't have it, you have to be a little bit more passive, right? So
Okay.
that's pretty much how we ended up dying there.
Do you consider Hog to be the main tank in this? Like, should I be following his lead? I
Yeah,
know
you probably
sometimes
you want to be probably slightly behind him, yeah.
I don't even know where he is. Oh.
But you don't have a main tank here per se, so you'd
Yeah.
mainly be looking to just play, pretty self-sufficiently and doing your own thing. Right, so we'll talk more about this after this game is done, but
Mhm.
make sure you're looking to stay closer to cover. So this is called positioning. Good positioning is the usage of cover, whereas bad positioning is the absence of cover. So whenever you're out in the open and not next to an object or a wall or a corner that can stop damage, then you're in a bad position. Most of the time you want to stay next to cover so that you can stop damage once you start getting shot at. So
Okay.
instead of just sitting straight on point, you might want to sit more towards the right side of point, which has some walls, which has the inside area, which can allow you to take less damage.
Sig is left side.
Okay, pay attention to where the rest of your team is, right? If we just to look around right now, we'd see most of our team is holding on the back side of point. So
Mhm.
if we're pushed that far forwards, we're not going to be able to get any team support. So if the team's not pushing forwards, don't push forwards without them. Pay attention to where they're at.
Okay. Yeah.
The big issue so far is that we've pretty much just died every single fight instantaneously, right? We want to get
Yeah.
some survivability going.
I was going the wrong way there. That's my bad. Oh, that's pretty good. Ash is low on point. Nicely. Get the Lucio. Easy.
Oh, good job checking where your team's at. I saw that,
Yep.
hesitation.
Yep.
Watch out, Hanzo. Oh. That's my bad. I just lost that because I'm a fucking idiot.
All right, so, yep. So far, I think that you have a pretty decent grasp on your bubble usage. Just to make sure that you're looking to use your bubbles when you know that they're going to be taking damage. I think the big issue is just that 3 fights in a row that you died instantly.
Mhm.
Now this fight, make sure they're looking to use our grab pretty early. This is going to be the last fight of the game before checking the top middle.
Watch that Lucio's going for a boot.
I'm gonna grab on fight. Grab on point.
Go down a healer.
Okay, very, very good grab. Now something that you can do to maybe make it a better grab is make sure you're pressing tab and checking, do we have any ult that can combo with grab? There's a
Mhm.
lot of ults that can combo with grab, and in that scenario, you actually have a Smurf Tracer who knew to pulse with the grab, right? So, for example, yep, pulse bomb grab is very, very good, right? You group them all
Yeah.
together, and then you get a big bomb that goes in there and kills them all. Now, what we can do is we can call that out and say, and I'm pretty sure I heard you say, "Hey, I got grab. I'm going to do it on point." You can say, "Hey, I have grab this fight. Tracer, can you pulse the grab?" Right, and you communicate
Mhm.
that, and then that way grab is more of a success rate, and it's going to get more kills. So
Yeah.
another person on your team who can combo with that if Tracer can't is Roadhog, because grab Roadhog is also pretty decent.
Yeah. I do like that.
I'm gonna go top.
Okay, there's a lot of techie stuff that we're gonna go over after this game.
They got a turret. I don't see it though. It's not good.
Just begging out.
Get this McCreep again. Oh shit. Oh. Yeah, I think we need a ball for the point to just boot these guys off of it. Maybe a ball in the Zarya. He was low.
Got grab.
Okay, really good grab timing with the fact that we're not holding on to it for too long. Just watch your health. Make sure you're not playing too aggressive when you don't have health, when you don't have your, your bubble, and on top of that, you're down your monkey, right? So just be extra careful of your aggression when you have all these things telling you that you shouldn't be as aggressive.
Okay. Yeah, I think my grabs over the past few days have just been pretty rough and something I need to
Skin for 76.
be working on.
Yeah, which so far I think your grab usages have been pretty good from what I've seen. It's just mainly the follow up with it. There was
Mhm.
don't play so aggressive in their face.
Yeah.
We have very very good bubbles for a gold player. Most of the time, bubbles the main thing I have to focus on. But it seems like we actually know how to use bubbles, and the big thing is like kind of making sure that we're staying alive after we've gotten that bubble,
Mhm.
after we've gotten those bubbles in effectively.
Diva's low. Diva's low. Sorry, Doom. Come over here. Doom, come over here. Give me a heal. Doom to 76. 76. Your feet's up, right? I have a oh shit. Diva's on point.
Dude, I don't know what I was doing there.
Yeah, there we're holding a little too close. Maybe try to hold on point more often. I'll explain why afterwards.
With them. Or maybe not. Okay, yes I am. Don't tactics. Oh, get that mercy. Stagger him.
Reaper on point with Diva. Never mind. I'm gonna grab this Rhine. Oh, come on.
All right. Reinhardt's maybe not the target you want to focus there.
Mhm.
Now, in general, if you ever have the opportunity to, tanks are never your priority target.
Okay.
Tanks' jobs are to make space for the DPS and supports. They have 3 times the health of DPS and supports, right? So they are going to be a lot harder to kill. And supports can heal them a lot easier than they can heal each other. So most of the
I
time,
thought
you're
about
just... Yep.
I thought about shooting that Mercy that was doing that res, but I got super tunnel vision with that.
Yep.
I mean,
I'll
come on.
explain more after this game,
Yeah.
but most of the time we'll just not want to focus tanks.
Okay.
Closure 6 is low right side. Oh shit.
Okay, unlucky.
That happens.
Everything else is fucked up.
Oh man.
Touch point. Gotta kill this Ryan.
All right. Why don't you go ahead and leave that game, and then I'm going to screen share on my end. All right. So let me know when you are taking a look.
Yeah, I'm looking.
All right. So first off, we'll go over some of the things that don't require the visual aid. So first off, target priority. So tanks have 3 times the health as squishies, right? So that makes them much harder to kill. Tanks do, on paper, right? Statistically, the amount of value that they output, they do less than DPS and supports. DPS output the damage, supports output healing. Tanks exist to soak up damage and to take space. If we have an equal opportunity, right? So I'm not talking about if the tanks are in the front. If the tanks are the only thing that you can shoot at, go ahead and focus the tanks. But if a tank is standing there and a support's standing there, right, or a DPS is standing there, you always focus the person who's easier to kill, and they're also going to have more impact than the tank can have impact, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then on top of that, right, it talks about 2 supports, right? They can pocket 1 person, right? But this person can't heal themselves and get pocketed by this person, right? So it's much easier to kill supports, and because they can't get pocket, like the tanks can get pocketed, the supports can't pocket each other nearly as efficiently. So most of the time, we're going to want to focus priorities like that. I don't know why I went Reinhardt. Okay, so basically, after that point, I'll probably say, yeah, bubble usage, very, very good. Or probably one of the best gold players with bubble usage that I've seen. Just to make it a little bit better, make sure we're trying to just make sure we're using it every time we're going to be taking, our team's going to be taking damage. You're going to find the best usage with bubble when we're looking to use it as tanking. When we use a bubble, for example, to a Roadhog lands a hook, we bubble our teammate, it saves their life, it gives us energy, right? So that type of tanking bubble is always going to be the best for us because it gets us tanking as a tank, right? And then also gets us energy so we can do more. Reinhardt lands a charge, you bubble your teammate, saves their life, gets you energy, right? Any ultimate, they pretty much use any ultimate, you bubble your teammate, you save their life, you get energy. Same kind of thing, right? Be looking for those kind of opportunities. Your grab usage, I think, is really, really good. Both times you got multiple people in your grab. You didn't wait to use it. You used it in the first fight that you got it. Some people I see when they go for ultimates, they wait literally like 4, sometimes even more fights before they're using their ultimates.
Yeah.
So it's good that you're using it pretty much right away. But we'll just get into some of the other stuff that we can improve on. So first off, tech thing, to move faster, especially, this is one that especially you're going to use when you're walking back from spawn, is you're going to look at the ground, you're going to jump and right click at the exact same time while you're pressing W, and you will actually increase your movement speed. Now we don't want to stare straight at the ground because then we miss stuff, so we look up in between each shot, right? But this will make you go
Okay.
faster, and then you also, because you have the shield health, that will just regenerate before you get to the fight. So just give it a second to regenerate.
Okay. I
Right.
totally forgot about that. Like I see people do that. I'm like, now you need to get healed. I'm like, oh no, it just regens.
Yep.
Oh
So
man.
you
Okay.
regen. So you're gonna do that as you're walking back from spawn, and then the last little bit, like right before you're about to get back to the fight, you let it regen, and then now you've just gotten back faster. Now other things, right click usage. So right click has 2 usages. Okay. Sorry, cough. So 2 usages. First off, we're going to use it anytime we can't left click. So left click has a range of 15 meters. So right here we cannot left click. Oh, what the heck? Okay, apparently I might have discovered something new. Ooh, interesting.
His arms stick out.
Yeah, so we
Yes.
can hit his arms, but from this range. That's very interesting. I wonder if that's just the bots. I would assume maybe that's the bots because
Mm-hmm.
yeah, okay. That's probably the bots. All right.
Gotcha.
So, in any case, yep. On a normal character, 15 meters is your range. So we try to shoot them. We can't hit them from this range. We can see where they're not taking damage. We don't see the marker. At any time you're out of that left click reach, you're going right clicks. Anytime you're within that, you're probably gonna want to left click because it's more consistent damage.
Mm-hmm.
But the other time you use your right click is when you're bursting somebody down. So when somebody's low, you're gonna add in a right click melee, and then that will do a lot of burst damage, especially if you're very high energy. You can do this pretty much when they're like half HP, and you'll be able to kill them. Here we have 0 energy, so that's not going to do much. But why you want to burst people is when you kill. Anytime you kill something faster, it's always better, because the faster you kill something, that means that they no longer have time to run away. They don't have time to use tanking abilities. They don't have time to get healed. So that means that killing something faster secures the kill and is going to be much better for you. So when they're low, we right click, and then if we're close enough, we melee. Sometimes if you're too far away, like back here, this might be where you no longer want to right click because that travel distance can be too long sometimes. So you might want to just mow them down. But if you're within this like 10-meter range, most of the time you're going to want to add in the right click to finish them off, right? When they're getting on the low end.
Yeah. Okay.
Right. Now let's see. What else were we going to talk about? Trying to think. I had some things in my mind. Was there anything else that I need to demonstrate? Why don't we'll go over positioning real quick because we're gonna go over positioning. So we talked about this. Bad positioning is the absence of cover. Okay, so if we're standing right here, this is any enemy on their team shooting at us. Okay, let's say it's all 6 of them. They're all shooting at us. It takes us 1, 2, 3 seconds before we're behind something where they can no longer shoot us. Okay, in that time we are dead because that is bad positioning because there's an absence of cover. This right here is much better positioning. We can grab the same, we can bubble the same, we can right click the same, except for now we're in a position to where in exactly half a second, right? Half a second, right? We now have the option to duck beyond cover. So this is much better positioning as we are much safer here. Anytime they use an ultimate, anytime we get low, anytime they start shooting at us, we have this as an option. Okay, cover can come in a lot of different shapes and forms. Okay, something like a slope can be cover. Okay, pillars, right? So we can duck in and out in between our right clicks here. Okay, we can reload while we're behind cover. We can go behind cover for low HP, or for waiting for our team. We can do, the corners are gonna be fantastic ways to use cover. Okay, we can use something like this, like any random object you find. You can use that to hide from people. Like cart works well like that. Pillars again, right? Corner, doorway, corner. High grounds are always fantastic usages of cover because essentially the entire high ground is cover, okay? Because the platform acts as cover, right? So for example, like this person can see us, now they can't see us. This person can see us, now they can't see us. So we have the option to move backwards, which means that they can't see us, right? So for up here, now this is a bad usage of high ground. If we're right here, we're out in the open. 5 people can shoot at us. If we back up away from cover and we add a crouch in, now less people can see us. We use that as cover. Only 1 person can now see us, right? So we can back up away from the ledge and use side cover as cover.
Okay.
Right. Now, besides that, I think you can probably go ahead and get into another queue. Okay, and then did we talk about how to know when a fight is won or lost? I just had
No.
no. Okay, well then I'll go over that. Sorry, sometimes in between
No, it's
coaching
okay.
sessions, kind of forget what you've talked about.
Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
I'm gonna stop streaming real quick, and then you can start that back up. So essentially, how to know when a fight's won or lost, right? This is super important information because you're going to be making different decisions with that information. So how you know is you watch kill feed is the big thing. If you're paying attention to kill feed, that tells you if you're up or down kills in a fight. If you're down 1 to 2 kills, or sorry, let's go up with first, right? So you're up 1 to 2 kills, you get 1 to 2 picks. That means that you're at an advantage. You didn't win the fight, but that means you can play much more aggressive. Yeah, that's the big thing. You play more aggressive off of that. You're up 2 to 3 kills. That's pretty much a one fight. Now you don't want to be using your ultimate in a one fight. You want to be playing super aggressive, trying to clean up the rest of the kills and cap point. And then after that, that's pretty much it. Okay. Now this also goes the exact opposite way. If you're down 1 to 2 kills, that means that you're at a disadvantage. You didn't lose the fight yet, but you might want to play more passive. Okay. Down 2 to 3 kills, that's where you've pretty much lost the fight. You don't want to use your ultimate, and then you want to be looking to get out if that's an option. On Zarya, a lot of times you're gonna want to try to get out as you want to save your energy. But if you know that you're not going to be able to get out, you just let them kill you so that you don't stagger yourself.
Yeah. Okay, I think I've had that. There's just a problem, especially with Zarya. Now that I've played Zarya more, is like it's not. You can't really. I don't think you can really turn a fight with Grav unless without someone else's help, unless they're really
Yeah.
low. So I'm like, I think I've been using it late sometimes.
Yeah, you want to use it as early as possible most of the time, because
Reaper left.
Yeah, I'll talk about that later. Yep.
We're down one forward. No, we're down two. Get back.
Taking the run down before I die.
Okay, so that's exactly a situation where you only have 2 people left alive. They have 4 people left alive. That's a lost fight. But we stayed in too long, and then that meant that we lost 90 energy, right? And that's really hard to build that 90 energy back up. So we want to get out with that 90 energy so that we can keep it for the next fight and do more damage, get more ult charge. Energy's always going to be fantastic to keep. And, we just end up dying a lot of times because we didn't refuse to get out, right?
Yeah. Okay.
It was bad. It was bad.
Unfortunate. Yep. So probably like 75% of deaths you can learn from, you can improve, you can go, maybe I was out of position, maybe I used my abilities wrong, and you can get better through them. But the other 25%, like that one that just happened, not really much you could have done about it.
Quick. Hurry.
Okay. Make sure your first priority each fight is getting that energy up, because you can literally do nothing when you don't have energy.
Yeah.
And then once you do have the energy, make sure you're trying to stay alive longer. We're pretty much the big thing is we keep dying. We're dying very frequently, and pretty much we use our bubble. We get energy, and then we go super aggressive when you die instantaneously. Look to just get some more survivability going, and then you'll be able to do more. I think that was the point I was trying to go on, but I forgot to go over that after that. So I'll go on that in between the rounds here. Okay, so we're watching kill feed. We see we're up 2 currently, so we can be more aggressive. Pretty much won this fight.
Nice job, gamers.
Yep, push
Okay,
forward
Graf.
with skills.
for Reaper Blossom.
I have a flashbang for him.
Well, make sure if you're using bubble, you're not backing up, right? Those two don't really mix because when you back up, that means you don't take damage. So when you're using bubble, play a little bit more aggressively, right, and get into open area where they can shoot you. That way you can soak up some more damage.
West side jump top. Salting.
Easy clap.
Okay,
So you're saying just back out instead of bubbling, just.
No. What I was saying is that you bubbled and backed out at the same time. If you're trying to soak up that Junkrat spam, stay in longer.
Okay.
Oh, so we're 0 energy. First priority here is getting some bubbles in, right? Getting that energy back up.
I need help up top.
I'm just going after this tanks.
All right, so take a look.
Stop shooting tanks.
Take a look at where we died, right? We can take a look at most of our deaths, and this is how you can prove yourself. What was the, I guess, main? I'll give you a hint. It's positional. What was the main problem with that death?
I was open on the high ground, and then I was open on the low ground.
Yep, we're pretty much in the middle of point, out in the open, by ourselves, right? We're pretty much in the middle of their team. Look to play more on the outskirts, right? Especially since we don't really have a main tank to sit behind, right? We just have a Roadhog. Look to stay on the sides, not in the middle, because if we're right next to Reinhardt, Reinhardt does a ton of damage when we're right next to him, right? Take a look at their comp real quick. Oh, I guess never mind. We'll take a look at it afterwards.
They're top. Reaper on point.
Reaper one.
Hogged in the trap.
Reaper low and glass and whatever room.
Big.
I literally can't.
All right. Do you know the name of the comp that they were on this round?
Yeah, they're. I mean brawl mostly because of. Although it was a little weird.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep, that is pretty much Brawl. Yep. Brawl is close range, fast. They want to play fast. You guys didn't have a Reinhardt. You guys weren't really playing too much of a Brawl, right? If you look at our comp right now, we're not really on a Brawl. We're more of a spam. Junkrat spam, McCree spam, Bap spam, Roadhog spam. Zarya's not. Zarya plays Brawl, but if they're the better Brawl team, don't try to play fast and close. Play far and slow. Right? So really got to know our matchups there so that we're not running into the enemy team when we know that that's how they get the advantage.
Okay.
So with our comp, because we are on what you call a spam comp, we're playing slower, we're playing further back in comparison, right? We just got 2 picks, look to play super aggressive. They got a pick, we're back up 1, right? This is what we're paying attention to. We've pretty much won this fight, okay? Just look to clean up the rest of those kills.
Oh, she got me when I was a little help.
She has no recall.
She's like one behind.
Baptiste's up.
Okay, we're low energy. Number 1 priority is getting that energy back online.
Maze on top. May have.
Really good job stepping in front of your hog there. That's not something you see in gold much. But you used your bubble to tank for him. That's a really good play. That's the type of thing you want to be doing when you're looking for bubble. Is you get more aggressive. That way you can use it for tanking, and you also are just gonna get more energy out of that too. Right. Fantastic bubble usage. You kind of really understand just how tank works. There's just a lot of itsy bitsy places that we're struggling with.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're going around, I think.
Yeah, there. Yeah, flex.
Probably say another point that we're very strong with is mechanics. I don't really see a big problem with just us shooting at things. Oh, good personal bubble to get out of that.
Grabbing.
Nice. Good hook.
Okay, really good. All right. Okay, that was honestly you played that round very, very well. How many times did you die
4 times.
in that round?
Time to admit that I'm mad.
Oh, 0 times.
All right. So, when you die, how much value do you get? Like when
0.
you are dead, how much value can you get?
Basically, yeah, 0.
Yeah. Okay, you got that right. Yep, exactly. So death's never gonna be good. When you can stay alive longer, that means that you stay at high energy longer. You get to super super high energy all the time, but in I think your previous game, whenever you press tab, I saw you're like 15%, and that's just because you
Mhm.
get up to 90, and then you die within 10 seconds, and then now that
Yeah.
just goes back, and then now you're just reset, right?
Mhm.
When let's say for example we average somewhere around let's just say 7 deaths a game, right? 7 deaths on average, right? Let's just throw that number out there. Let's say that we can cut 3 deaths out per game, right? One single death is 10 seconds of respawn time, and then roughly 10 seconds of walk back time to the fight. So that means that with every single death there, we get pretty much 20 seconds back. So with 3 deaths, that is a whole 60 seconds worth of time that we've saved, right?
Mhm.
That we're doing more in, that we're getting more energy through, right? That we're getting more ult charge, that we're getting more damage, that we're getting more kills, right? So if we can stop ourselves from dying by respecting our bubble usage more, right? Paying attention to the kill feed, right? And paying it really, really, the big thing is our aggression, right? Making sure that we're playing passive when we need to play passive and playing aggressive when we need to play aggressive, so that we're not dying all the time, and making sure we're using, positioning, right? Using cover. Then we're going to be seeing a big impact because when we die less, like in our last round, like honestly, that last round, if I like just saw that game isolated from the rest of your other games, I'd probably think that you were a Smurf because you were 100 energy the whole time. You used your personal bubble to save Roadhog. You used your personal bubble to get out of Mayfreeze. You landed a fantastic like long range grab. There's a lot of good gameplay there, and you didn't die the whole time. So if you can do that consistently, and you can get it to where you're not dying as nearly as often, and you're keeping your energy very high, and you're keeping your
Mhm.
bubble usage that high, then you'll be seeing a lot of value out of that.
Awesome. That's what I want.
All right, so I don't have anything to display again, so you can probably just go ahead and
Mhm.
get into a queue.
All right. We'll see if I'll mix it up to something else. Different tank. We'll see.
All right, sounds good.
Yeah. Yeah, I've been playing a lot of DPS, lots and lots of DPS, but
Mm.
I just don't know if I can do the Q anymore, and just need to mix it up. So Zarya is a pretty good fit.
Yeah.
Uh, so it's a little different. We'll see.
Interesting.
Yep.
All right.
Yeah, I picked Orisa to sit here and protect the rest of my team behind me, and that's not the case.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. At the moment, I'd probably say Orisa is one of the weakest tanks, just if you're looking for power level wise.
Yeah. I fell down. Oh,
Unfortunate.
that was terrible.
Watch high ground usage. With your right clicks, make sure you're using them off of cooldown pretty much every time you get it. And then when you use them, toss them above people's heads because that will pull them above shields. And then on top of that, that'll mean that they have fall time, which means that they're basically stunned for an extra second or so.
I'm gonna contest it. Oh,
Okay.
no, that was a mistake, but
Good awareness, checking to where your team was. All right, so good awareness checking for your team. You were like you went in. You were like, wait, nobody's here. You were about to back out, and then you were like, oh wait, never mind. 3 people are here, and then you went back in. So
yeah.
that's really good. Make sure you're not trying to go for charges when you know you have like 5 people staring at you.
Yeah.
That's not going to work out too well for you. You're going to get stunned. You're going to get melted. So just be careful. Hold up shield. Try to do your best to stall while your team does the work. Oh, this is something else we're going to go over. My bad. I didn't end up going over that. Hopefully I'll remember after this game. All right, pay attention to where most of them are. The big thing there, I'll talk about this afterwards, hopefully, but don't hold at that choke. Hold back on point.
Okay.
Because that's what you call kind of a no man's land. It's this wide open area. It's kind of acts like I've heard, know that, or I guarantee that you've probably heard of what a choke point is.
Yeah.
A no man's land is essentially a really long choke point. There's no cover. There's nowhere to hide. So when people have to walk through that, there's a lot. You have a lot of time to spam them. Even if you're not really on a spam comp, you want to hold on point. On point, it gives you better angles to hold for right side, and if they come right side or if they come left side. If you hold up main at that front choke, what you're doing is you're putting yourself kind of in front of no man's land to where you have to back up through that open space, which is putting yourself at a disadvantage. Not and then taking away the advantage you would have if they had to walk through that. And then on top of that, they went left side, which pretty much just that means that you have no way to contest that from where you're at. Right, so that was just a big positional thing on the second point. Was
Yeah.
basically you were just in the wrong spot, and then that meant that he just ran past you and ran over your team. So I'll demonstrate that after this game, just so you can see, what the heck I'm talking about.
Okay. Perfect.
Yep, make sure kind of getting your team through, right?
I don't know if they want to come through.
Yep. That was unfortunate. Be careful when you have like a Reaper and when you have 3 people staring at you. Be careful about your swinging, but you kind of got stuffed into a room there. Reinhardt is a brawl character, right? So you do well when you get in fast, when you get in close, and when you get in swinging, right? So make sure you're not trying to kind of sit there shielding for too long. You want to make sure that you're swinging, and then when you get low, then you back up and shield, right? You don't want to waste all of your shield and then have nothing, and then that means that you pretty much never get to go in and swing.
Zarya's behind me.
Okay.
Oh, man.
Reinhardt doesn't really fit with our comp currently, so I know that since you do play other things than Reinhardt, Zarya would probably just be even better than Ryan in the scenario, right? We're not on Brawl, and Reinhardt, really pretty much the only comp Reinhardt's good in is Brawl.
Yeah,
He can't,
okay.
Reinhardt can't dive, Reinhardt can't spam because Reinhardt's meant to be in there brawling. So right now you're kind of on the mix between a dive and a spam, and Reinhardt doesn't fit with I probably say most of the characters in your comp.
Go right, go left, go left, go left. How are you dying?
Okay, we're down 1 right now, so we might want to play a little bit passive, but we got to pick, right?
Alright,
So now,
even.
yep, now we're even. Looking for Shatter once the bubble goes away. Right. Now, that's they're
Yeah.
both look at both times you die. What's kind of been the reason why you've died?
I push in basically by myself because I'm not.
Cause your team's not on Brawl, right? So
Yeah.
that essentially comes down to the problem is we play aggressive and there's nobody to play aggressive with us and therefore we die. So that's why Reinhardt's not really the character for that comp. If you had to play Reinhardt in that comp, you just need to make sure they're playing more passive than usual, right? Because you don't have any heals, or you have very low healing. I'm pretty sure on Lucio Mercy, which is very low healing comp. You don't have a tank that can help you out, and you're not running any form of brawl, so you need to make sure that you're just playing more passive.
So hard to switch.
Okay, we're down 2 people. We just need to be
I
regrouping.
can. Oh, we need to be burning ults, I guess.
We still probably just want to be grouping. Don't die with charge. Unfortunate. Okay. Yep. Even if we have the beat there, still just probably to back up. You're down 2 people. You just want, and they're all in your spawn using ults as well. Watch the time bank, right? Have to go for the touch in 10 seconds. Need to look to push forwards. All right. Why I'm gonna stream again. Now I have 2 things that I remember to go over now, so we'll go over those. All right. So, the first thing is, have you adjusted your bubble sensitivity at all on Zarya?
No.
No.
For the projected?
Yes, for the projected. Were you aware this is a thing?
I didn't know it was the thing. I was actually complaining to one of my teammates the other day.
Yep. This is
3 days ago.
yeah. Pretty much no gold players. So this is the thing, or nobody, no characters. Pretty much unless you're like masters or something above, or maybe diamond or above, or you've been playing this game for a really long time. Most of the time, people don't know this is a thing.
Yeah.
So you go to all controls, all heroes, Zarya. Scroll down to hero, projected barrier sensitivity. Okay. What this does is it means that when this is at 10, you have to be looking directly at the person. If we're even looking here, the bubble will not go to them. Here, bubble will not go to them. Now, bubble will go to them. Right? We have to be looking directly on top of them because so it gets more sensitive and more. It becomes less lenient the higher we put this. Now, why we want to lower this slightly is because we don't want it to get caught by random people, right? If our team's all grouped up in a little clump, right? Say 5 people are in a group, we don't want to be hitting the wrong person at the wrong time, so we can lower this. I think I have this on 50 on my main. I haven't played Zarya like too frequently recently, so I don't know if like I probably recommend putting it around 50, but you can also test it out. It might be more like 60, um, maybe like 50 to 70. It would be the range, but you definitely want to lower it so that you're not getting it caught on somebody on the wrong person. Okay.
Yeah. Wow, that's amazing.
Yep. Now moving on to No Man's Land. So No Man's Land is any long open space. I guess let's go to an actual map here. This might work a little bit better. I think you can kind of see the demonstration a lot better. Any maps that you'd like to go over real quick?
You can just load up Temple of Anubis.
All right, Temple of Anubis. So this is gonna be something that really it applies to most characters, but the big ones is tanks because they kind of set the pace when it comes to positioning for the team. So if we so the big one here is this point. So if we're holding up here, if they go left side, how do we stop them from going left side, right? It's very difficult. We can't see them going left side unless we're doing it. We can see them from main, so we don't have a lot of time to react. And then if we do come left side, we kind of have to come and stuff them here. We can't really stop them too well if they go right side, right? Again, we kind of have to funnel ourselves through here and stop them here if they go right side. Yes, it is decent for holding this choke, right? I'll admit that. But if they start pushing us and putting pressure on us, right, to get to safety, we have to run all the way through that. Now, this is what you'd call pretty much, this is what's no man's land. So during this space down here, sorry, I'm coughing. All right, sorry about that. So during this whole space right here, pretty much this whole area, right, all along this is no man's land, right? If you're on the middle of this track, there's no cover anyways, right? If we're standing right here, not anywhere to go unless we want to just drop underneath. So that means that when we're up here, first off, they don't have to walk through no man's land anymore. Second off, now we have to walk backwards through no man's land, right? We have to go back through that bad territory. So if we hold back here, that means that now they have to walk through this wide open area to walk to us. And even if we're on a brawl, we can spam them out this whole time that they're walking in. We now have a little bit of a better angle to where, especially right side, we can stop them right side because they have to come through this choke. Whereas holding up there isn't really great. And then holding left side, again, is still just a little bit better than trying to get them right here. So just most of the time we're going to want to hold on point, and we don't want to hold in that no man's area. No man's land area. Sorry, I said that wrong. Right, so that makes sense?
Yeah, that does make sense.
All right. So we have 10 minutes left. So we might not be able to fit a whole ranked game in. Do you maybe want to try like a quick play or two?
Sure.
Traveling to Dorado. Prepare to attack. Select your hero.
All right. So first thing we're doing each game, taking a look at the team comp they're working with. It's always going to dictate kind of our play style, and and same thing with the enemy team comp. I probably say sometimes the enemy team comp can be even more important. But with our team comp, we are running, I'd probably say pretty much a brawl. Okay, Reinhardt's a brawl character. Genji can be a brawl character. Genji's very versatile. Lucio's a brawl character. Briggs a brawl character. Okay, Sigma can act as a brawl character sometimes. But Sigma and Hanzo are also spam characters. So we're mostly brawl, so that works with our Reinhardt. We have to keep in mind, though, we are very low on healing, right? Lucio Brig is a low healing composition. So we might need to be very careful about our health and how aggressive we're being. So we need to make sure we're just paying extra close attention to our health. Okay. There, Ash is on our left, right? Make sure we're looking at the, squish your targets out of position, right? We can just look to the left, swing on Ash. Reinhardt's out of position right now. He's not with his team. Right now we're up 2 people. We can look to play more aggressively. Also, I hope you don't mind. Now that we've gone through a lot of stuff, I might start, shot calling a little bit here for you. Just like tell you
Yeah,
kind of when we should be doing what, right? Just so you get the kind of kind of the thinking into your head. Yep. So Ash, good job. Okay. Right now, we probably want to be. We don't need to sit on car. We could probably just be pushing up to where like Orisa is pretty much. Right. We want to go and hold that corner. Oh, great charge. Very unfortunate timing that we ended up getting needed.
Mm-hmm. Oh, we were committing.
Yep, that's the type of situation where if you're in team chat and you're calling stuff, you can say, "Hey guys, that we've talked about the. Sorry, I talked about something else there. We've talked about like kind of watching kill feed. You can say to your team, "Hey guys, no assaults, we lost, right? No assaults, we
Mm-hmm.
won, right? That way they're not still committing into the fight after
Yeah.
you've won or lost it."
I wanted to shadow here, but
Now we're up 2, so we might not need to. Yep, up 3,
yeah.
so pretty much won that fight. Play more aggressive, look to go get those picks. We only really need one person on a card at a time, right? Unless because you're gonna need two on these payload maps. You're always gonna need 2 fights no matter what. That won't change with the number of people you have on cart. So you want to look to go forward and get those stagger kills and take better positioning and whatnot.
I'm gonna try and shatter. Uh-oh, fuck.
Woo, fantastic. Look to line up that fire strike with maybe a few more people instead of just hitting one person with it. It's a good tech tip to making sure you're hitting more people with that is you can crouch, and then that way it's not, when you're kind of standing up, your angle is going to go into the floor, right? When you crouch, your angle will go straight. Great block. Unfortunate counter charge.
Yeah. Oh, that was stupid. Uh-oh.
Yep, watch the long distance charges, try to make sure we're not doing that, but we got away with it. But just remember, yep, just because it wasn't punished doesn't mean it wasn't a mistake.
Yep.
Very good fire strike usage. I like that we're using it a lot here. Okay. I really like the aggression we had. We played aggressive a lot there, and it went really well for us, right? We had 1 single death. I like our fire strike usage. We use it pretty much every single time that we get it. Now, why don't you? I'm gonna stream again. I think I missed out a part on the No Man's Land, especially how to attack a No Man's Land. And then also we'll go over some Reinhardt stuff. But yep, a lot of good gameplay there. Oh, I didn't mean to stop streaming. Whoops. But you can probably stop streaming, yeah, because then the session will be over afterward on this. So No Man's Land. So we'll just use the training range for this example, okay? This corridor, No Man's Land, right? So when we're at some point we're gonna need to go through No Man's Land, right? Because there's a lot of No Man's Land in these games, so we're gonna need to cross them. So how do we cross them? Let's say this is point, right? We're trying to get to point. We can't just sit here forever. So what we can do is we can move to get to. We basically move from cover to cover, right? So from here, we can shield hop, and I'll explain shield hopping in a second if you don't know what that is. Shield hop to this corner. Then if we need to, we can recharge shield, recharge health, regroup, like kind of group up with their team. Then we go to this corner, right? And then now we're much closer, right? And then we can recharge again if we need to. And then from here we push in, right? So whenever we're trying to push through that No Man's Land, we want to go from cover to cover rather than just, waltzing down main might be a little bit difficult, taking a lot of damage, and we're not gonna have much time to get any health shields back, no time to group up, and it's just also gonna be really dangerous for us. Now, are you aware of what shield hopping is on Reinhardt?
Yeah, I've tried to do it. I mean, I've done it. I guess
Yep.
I never felt like I was like, oh wow, that feels smooth.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was good. It was good to see someone do it like first person, not just
Yeah. Do you know
second
why? Do you know why people shield hop?
I was told that because in the early days there was like a 30% or 50% reduction in Ryan speed, so it was like kind of a mandatory thing. And even though it's been buffed back, you move faster and you get some shield,
Yep. So
basically.
yeah, you basically got it right. It's gonna make your movement speed much faster, right? If we compare this, right, movement speed, shielding. Okay. Now we can do the same thing where we're just shield hopping, right? We can cover this space a lot faster and move forward a lot faster for adding the shield hop in. Okay. Second thing is that will conserve your shield health because it will rotate damage in between our shield and us and our team behind us. Now, because it's not we're shielding for the other half, that's damage that is very minimal, and our team can just heal that up. Now, the big thing that when you're gonna use this, right? We're gonna use this when we're trying to take space or drop space very fast. So whenever we're trying to move somewhere, essentially. Okay, so we're trying to
Okay.
go from there to there. We shield hop across. Okay, we shield up across. Okay, but if we are, let's say, they push into us super hard, they start using a bunch of ults, right, and we're trying to back up, unless we're critical HP or we see somebody behind us who's very low, we can shield up backwards, and then that might get us out of the fight faster, right? And then we'll take less. Whenever you're getting in and out faster, you're taking less damage overall, right?
Yeah.
Okay, now we'll go over, okay, we're pretty much up on time, but we'll go over a few more things here. So, Reinhardt's Fire Strike, use it off a cooldown. Because it has a charge up animation, you can actually turn the corner with it, or start it here, and then turn it, and then come back, right? So, start the charge, turn, and then come back, right? That way we're not standing here, charging it, and then backing up, right? It just means that we can stand behind cover a lot more.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Nice.
Okay, gotta find the distance here. So, on Reinhardt, if you take a look, we're swinging on his body, but, we're swinging on his body, we can't hit him, but when we look to the side, we are actually able to hit him, and the reason for that is because Reinhardt's hammer actually has a larger hit radius from the side than from the frontal angle. So that means that you're going to want to hit people kind of from a side point of view rather than looking at them straight on. The other thing we get from this is, let's say we swing straight at somebody, right? We can't hit the spot behind us, but when we swing our camera, so what you're going to want to do is swing your camera with the direction of your hammer. And when we do that, we can hit both of these people at the exact same time and do a lot more damage.
Okay.
You can see that you can actually hit both of these people at once, right? Even though they're on the, they're completely opposite sides of each other, right? We're doing a complete 180, but in the same swing, we can kill both of them, right? So make sure looking to swing your camera around when you're swinging, and then you'll get a lot more damage and cleave damage and team damage in.
Okay, does it need to go the same direction as the hammer? I feel like I'm gonna mess that up.
It'll feel natural when you go the same direction as the hammer.
Okay.
When you try to go the other direction, I feel like it just feels kind of
weird.
funky. I don't think it works too well. Like if we look that way, for example, and or I guess let's try this. Like let's look. Like.
Yeah. Okay. But you always swing. I guess you always swing right to left the first swing.
Yeah,
anyway.
right to left, and then
Okay.
left to right. Yeah. So pretty much you kind of want to. It's kind of a rhythm that you can follow very easily. So that's how you can do it easily. Going the opposite direction just kind of feels funky. It does actually look like it works, because if you look at this, I'm actually hitting him too. But
weird.
it just doesn't look like it, and it doesn't feel natural. I've always done it with the swing.
Okay.
You'll kind of get a feel
that
for it.
way.
Yeah.
I want to do it that way. I was just like, oh my gosh, like I feel like I'm gonna do it wrong.
Yeah.
But that, yeah, okay. That feels way more natural, and you always swing from the right the first time anyway. So
Every time it's gonna go to the right, and
Yeah.
then it'll just go back, forth, back, forth. So it's a pretty smooth kind of. It kind of
Easy.
lets you go for it. Yeah, it's easy. All right. So I'm gonna end the recording here.